Sorry we're late, but nevertheless, we are here. Good morning, afternoon, evening, day, night, wherever you are on the globe. Welcome to yet another edition of The Shattering. I am Chris Lotus, joined along with...
Syrin, Richxson.
I got my phone right here, because that's how I actually keep track of the chat and everybody.
Yeah.
And I got a notification from you saying you went live.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, we got that 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I guess we're diving right into it.
I guess I could start with a funny story,
Uh-oh.
but
What we got?
let's see. Right. I did Mugen Monday on a Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, okay, well, I haven't done it in a week or two, and I probably should. So I decided, and I'm like, oh wait, because I keep forgetting to do it when it's Monday. I'm like, you know what? Today's the perfect day. Trailer's coming out. No one knows who it is.
Sorry, I went
And
English for a
then,
minute.
and then, yeah, I played it. It was the game I played before that I kind of, I wouldn't say rage quit because it wasn't really rage quit. It's just I got tired of the fact that, well, for one, it crashed on me. And then for two, I had to reset up the controls, but the controls were so weird and wacky to set up that I kind of gave up at that point. I'm like, screw it. My mom wants to go take a walk. I'll go take a walk with her.
Oh, nice.
So,
by the way, hey everybody in the chat. Hey Jose. Hey Shuichi. Suichi. I just finished Danganronpa 3. I'm trying to call. It's just Suichi, right? Because Shuichi is the name of the character in Danganronpa. But good to see y'all. Glad y'all joined us. But continue, Syrin. Take it on for a walk.
yeah, and that's where that part ended. But then this week, or I guess it was this week technically. The Wednesday basically, I did when trailer came out. Before it came out, I'm having a real tough time. Anyway, I played this Mugen game. It was actually quite fun, except for the fact that some of the AI is kind of scummy, but it's fitting for an SNK AI. Let's be real here. Anyway, it was fun. It had a bunch of characters from KOF 11 and just other KOF games. But I was like, surprisingly, the two characters I went with, well, I think I went with 4 characters. What I did is I went 4 characters against one NPC, but like the one NPC was like, it's like a ratios thing, and
right.
I think
kind of harkening back to CVS.
Yeah. It's very similar to that, I think, because obviously I did much less damage to him than he did to me. And that was just with, like, in terms of specials, I could tell.
Right.
So I got screwed up a couple times, but I was like, okay, who do I want on my team? Okay, I'll take Robert, which was surprisingly fitting for that day. He was that Robert, I'd like to see him in other things.
Right.
It was Robert, but he was so much more different. His Hinchipukyak was like a Rekka.
Right.
And it brought you upwards. He was very similar to his charge version of Robert.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of charging, you could just do the moves. He had like a kick version and a punch version of his fireball, but it wasn't even a ball, it was like a disc, so that was pretty cool.
Frisbee.
And then it was really cool. And then I had Otaro Futaba as my other one. She's pretty fun. She's from Garo. She also made it into 11.
Right.
I think it's a character on one of the versions. I need to turn this music down. Wait, never mind.
Just in case you're tuning in, Syrin had a very apropos story to tell as we get into what we saw this week. All right, just letting y'all know, just in case you got here just then. Glad you all joined us. So, go ahead.
Anyway,
I think you were describing the team that you played with.
Yeah, then I grabbed Kim, because I'm like, you know what, I kind of know how to play Kim. I was thinking about Dong Han, Kim Dong Hwan. What was it?
Kim Dong
Kim
Hwan.
Dong, or is it Kim Dong Hwan?
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
how to say the name.
I'm pretty sure it's Kim Dong Won.
Yeah, anyway, I was thinking about it because he was in there, but I'm like, I'll choose Kim. I wonder if it has his air hungism.
Right.
He doesn't. But I chose him anyway. And then I also had I had Saishu as well.
Father Kusanagi.
Yeah. And I'm like, this character, I hope he makes it into 15 because he has some fun stuff. He has both a Fireball and a Rekka, but his like Fireball is like, I don't know, it's like similar, or no, not his Fireball. His Rekka is more similar to Yori's Rekka.
Yeah.
And he has some fun stuff, so it'd be a shame to not see him in KOF 15. Honestly, what I hope they do, if they do add him, since the whole, Team AOF thing got announced, I hope they put him on a team with, like, Takuma and, like, maybe Gang Il.
Yeah, since you mentioned that,
team
again. Yeah, let's segue into that then. Let's talk about what we did get for KOF 15. And you just mentioned it there.
Yeah.
So as y'all know, because let me just go ahead straight to what Jose said. Because I know Jose had commented on this in my reaction video. And I can sympathize. My expectations for Marco Rodriguez being part of Rio's team were destroyed. Now, I'm not the nitpickiest person when it comes to games. Really, I don't think I am, because I see what a lot of other people say, and I can at least say in some cases I'm not that demanding, so to speak, or entitled, I guess, to use to quote Ignorant Rizzy, which, by the way, shout outs to him. And pardon me, just to make up for it, I know it was last week, but I gotta make up for it since I said it wrong. Pro Chris. Okay. That's how they talk about, like, 2002 UM Chris over there and Ignorant Rizzy's streaming all that. It's not Chris, it's Pro Chris. I said it totally wrong, so I apologize for that. I mean, it's because, like, his little jumping CD, like his jumping blowback, the mess is ridiculous. But yeah. However, this was one instance where that was disappointing. They didn't, some reason they abandoned the storyline that we saw in 14. Now I understand. Say what?
I don't think they fully abandoned it, but
then why, like, because here's the reason why I say it's abandoned. Now, to be fair, to play devil's advocate to the point, granted, we saw that Marco and Rio were both fuming at the thought of, seeing what the family was doing. They were more about the restaurant rather than training. He did say, like, I'm thinking of leaving Southtown. So, I mean, he didn't say, like, that's it, I'm leaving. But, I mean, given, like, the interaction, it gave off that vibe. And now, the interesting thing about it is, and I feel like I may guess what you're partially thinking. Because on one hand, while we didn't get Marco, thanks to a couple of you that have stayed with me and helped me out and pointed out stuff throughout my roster prediction series, you all pointed out the quote from 14 with Rio talking to King, wanting her to help train his students. So what if that student, or at least what if one of said students is Marco? What if Rio actually has, like, it might be a little silly in a ways, because you would think that, hey, Rio wants to lead his own team, like really keep the whole Kyoku Ginryu thing going. He would have to be the head of it. But what if they're like one trying to push that whole ship with him and King, and there's like a neo new age apprentice team of like people that trained under like Rio or something. What about
I like that.
I mean, like, I think people might think it's a little weird because it's like, okay, these are all people that trained under Rio. Why is he not leading them? Why is he not on the team with them? It's like, so I get that, but at the same time, that would be a nice little way of recovering or at least trying to integrate some of that storyline from 14. Now, it could also crumble. The whole idea could crumble if they just come and say that this was not canon.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I think it was Jose that mentioned that, and I found a portion of it online. I didn't find the full thing because I want to see the full thing. But it's seeming more and more, according to Jose and others, that the way the roster is being built this far, it's following the manga, the new KOF A New Beginning.
So New Beginning, the manga. Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember because I'm thinking, is it KOF New Beginning or Awakening or something? Because like there's this other one that was like the Maximum Impact like anime thing.
Yeah, because it's like someone also filled me in. I got to see. I keep putting it off because I want to read. I want to read this manga. My bad, y'all. My bad. I didn't loop this. I'm so sorry.
You have to see his recommended. Oh no.
I mean, the recommended doesn't really matter that much because stumbled upon a bunch of stuff. Anyways, my point though is they could have done something with that. I just wish they had done something with that. But hey, all might not be lost. All might not be lost.
Yeah.
Another glitch. Okay, good. I fixed that one at least. No, like my screen went out. It was something I did wrong, but your comments, Syrin.
I was gonna say, the whole thing with the story, I have no idea. I think that, okay, so I think with the whole storyline with the barbecue thing, I think it could possibly still be a thing. I think because Robert himself he seemed to like support Takuma, right? And they were all talking about it, right?
He didn't support Takuma, like, he said?
He supports Takuma's decision with the whole business thing, right?
Right.
But Rio, in the end, is still like his friend and, like, I don't know, his rival, kind of, when it comes to training and stuff. So, the whole... okay, so...
by the way, Fabio, we open up every Shattering talking about the trailer that came this week. Then we're talking about... Right now, we're currently talking about, what are we thinking about the fact with the AOF team confirmation? You know, that's what we're talking about. So, Syrin here was just saying that Robert, of course, supports, you know, Takuma's decision, of course, about the restaurant. He supports him.
Yeah. But I don't think that'd be his main concern is the restaurant. Because Robert himself, his family owns like a restaurant or a chain of restaurants or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's like nothing new. He's like, oh, cool, Takuma, you got yourself steady business. Yuri, on the other hand, it's her day, it's her business. She's probably helping around here and there, right?
Right.
She's totally supporting it, probably. Where, you know, I don't know. I doubt she's going to be on a team with Takuma. I could be totally wrong, though. But, you know, it leaves the question of, is Takuma even going to be in this game? I hope he is, honestly.
I mean, now that I think about it, it's a good question, because I was going to say that, okay, where does that leave Yuri Sakazaki and Robert? But I'm like, duh, Robert's on the team with King and freaking Rio. So. And that, once again, it's amazing, because we're still dealing with the mystery of what is the women fighters team gonna look like? But we'll probably get to that in a minute. But,
Watch mine. Be on it.
I mean, it's the two of them, but who is the third person? Who is it? Because, I mean, this one is good. This is a good one because, like I said, the women fighters team is one of the most varied, like, most diverse teams ever. Like, compared to all the most reoccurring classic teams, I think the women fighters team has had more, like, actual collective members than any other, like, you know, any other, team. Like, I know because all teams have had, like, switch-ups, and, like, of course, in the time period where it was 4 to a team, you had, you know, an extra person here or there, but throughout all of it, like, because I remember I did this when I was when I was putting together my roster predictions, the first thing I did was I looked at the different patterns and, like, all the different relationships that the characters had with each other throughout the series, mostly in terms of teams. And like I said, of all the classic teams, I think that team has more members, like individual members, than any other team, I think, in the series, honestly. And like the thing is, you've had like a multitude of different people. You've had new characters that are like young up and comers, whether it's like Mei Lee, whether it's like Kasumi. You have people like that, but then you also have veteran characters like Mary, like Chizuru. So like, now granted, that last person there, Chizuru's already on the team, and she's on my screen right now as I'm saying it. I love it. Yeah, it's still one, like, who is the third person? And I wouldn't hate it if it's Alice, but I keep saying this, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit more descriptive when I say this. They've got to make her, like, seem fresh, though. Something different. There's gotta be, if it's gonna be Alice, there's gotta be something new about her. There's gotta be something new, and there's gotta be something at least engaging. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally like, you know, what she could do in 14. I mean, it did look a little weird, and it looked a little weird in some cases, but I think it gave her character somewhat. Especially the fact that you freaking punching folks and there's diamonds flying out.
Yeah.
But if she's gonna come to 15, they've got to make her, something's got to be different. Something's got to be.
How would you change Alice?
What's up?
How would you change Alice?
So the way I would change her, honestly, and this might not be a very good way to use, this might not be a good example, but I'm gonna use it anyways. When Sakura first debuted, everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, it's the girl Sakura." I mean, the girl Ryu. Or if you want to be somebody who's a big time snob, the girl Sakura, the girl Ryu. Or if you want to be a huge prude, oh my goodness, it's another Shoto and all this other stuff and everything. But look at every single game, like, and now this might be a bit unfair because Sakura has appeared all throughout Street Fighter, so she's had more opportunities to grow. Like, because sometimes, like, the big growth, like, with characters, big changes don't always come that quickly. Sometimes, I mean, it goes over time. That's what they call development. But one thing, and this might be bad for Alice then, because it's taken away one of the things I like about her, but hey, you gotta take chances. I want Alice, if she is in 15, I want her to be serious. I want her to be serious, then, like, I want her to, like, be in there just ready to, like, really, like, throw down. Like, I want her to really channel, like, really get rooted in that real wolf bout, like that hungry wolf mentality, since she's a Terry fangirl. And yeah, before you come at me, I know, not you personally, Syrin, but others, I know she has moves from the likes of Joe Higashi and, you know, Rock and Andy and Fatal Fury characters. I get that. But I want her to come back, and I want her to be, like, serious. You can throw a little bit of humor in there if you like them, because there's a lot of characters in this game that are hella serious, but there's a little bit of humor to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I want her to be back, and I want her to be, like, serious. I want, like, that, as far as, like, personality, I want a new look for her, too. I want her, like, this might be bad, but I want her to come, like, either in something like one, somebody here's got to get this, but Hitomi in Dead or Alive. has an alternate costume where, like, you know, because usually when we see Hitomi, it's like, you know, casual and all that, like, you know, casual, like going out or whatever, going to school, going for a walk, going to the store, blah 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 blah. But then you got Hitomi with an alternate costume where she's got like a karate gi on. Still a great looking character though, but like she looks like serious there. And on top of that, I want her moveset to look more crisp than clumsy. The clumsiness was nice at first, but and I know I just mentioned that that's one thing that gave her character, that made her stand out. But they have gotta give her like some type of growth then. Something has gotta be different about her. And before you come at me talk, like, not you of course, just making sure you know. Just making sure you know.
Alright.
In general. Oh, but like, you were fine with like Rio and like everybody else and such, then it's like, like, in reality, I mean, I haven't looked at the chat in a minute now. I'm glaring over there, and I'm pretty sure Suichi might have said something, because Suichi's, like, far as my audience, is one of the biggest critics of Alice. And some of the stuff I actually can agree with, which is why I want to see something different about her in 15, if that is the case. If they don't have anything that's going to make her seem different, something that's got to be different about her, if they don't have anything for her, I just say don't put her in. Pick somebody else. Pick Mei Lee Jinju. Bring in Kasumi. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Kasumi, but still, there's something there. There's something different. You know, because they can sit there like, Mai will be Mai. Alice is not Mai. Alice is not Yuri Sakazaki. Alice does not have, you know, the crowd support and the status of those two and somebody like King. As far as like the OG 3 of the women fighters. She doesn't have that. And even like you take somebody like, for instance, Chizuru, come on. Mary, come on. That person right there I just mentioned, Mary, is probably the person I think most people want to see be the third member of this team. And I agree. Because Team FF is already together. Is there going to be an agents team in this game? I don't know.
Who knows?
But like, if there isn't an agents team that's going to be in this game, that's an even bigger reason to have Mary be the third woman on this women fighters team.
Watch it be like Athena or something.
I mean, that's cool. You know, that'd be a twist. But are they really going to like just... They weren't going to let go of Team Fatal Fury. They're not letting go of Team AOF. And I know it might be bad for me to compare this to those two, but Psycho Soldier is one thing that, for the most part, they've always represented in these games. They've always done it. The only time was when they had, what was it, the high school girls team?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I got it right this time. I keep getting it mixed up with the pretty girls team, which I'm not saying like they're lying when they say that. I just laugh at the fact that they actually let them enter in like that. But I mean, but yeah, like I said, but I ranted there for a little bit. But if you want, like, those you just tuning in, Syrin asked me, as far as like Alice, how would I change Alice, since I always talk about Alice needs to feel fresh. She's gonna be in 15. One, they gotta change her personality. One, like, have a little something like, okay, like, even if she's like the tiniest bit more serious, then give her a sliver of the seriousness of somebody like Leona, and I'll be fine with that. One. Number two, change her look. She's gotta look different then. Whether she grows the hair, whether it's like a whole nother, like a different outfit, something that's not, I guess, too gimmicky looking, I suppose.
Never hated the outfit.
I mean, it's not,
it's like
it's not
it's
bad.
like meh,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know, I feel like a gi is a little too traditional, especially for something like KOF, where
yeah, like,
you know, you have people who
like,
wear them, like Rio,
and I'm thinking, I know it's funny that I keep bringing up Dead or Alive characters, but how about like something, for instance, like a Mila, for instance, you know, something that's hella tomboyish then, but like, she's still cool, she's still cute, she's still cool.
I guess
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Then like you don't have to be like too crazy out of it. Like, you know, when, you know, Mila had like the baggy jeans and like the plaid shirt and all that. I mean, yeah, you can still, I mean, even still, you know.
Like, I thought, when I said, what would you do to change Alice? I thought you were going to say something about, like, maybe the move set.
Which is my third point. You know, so I'm doing like a little review.
Alright.
Like I said, simply put, her moveset has got to like, moveset, playstyle, whatever you want to put it then, it has to be a lot more straight-laced. Like, I want her moves to be less clumsy and more, and this is a very stupid word for it, but it's the first thing that came in my head, more pretty looking. Something that's like, oh my gosh, that looks so awesome. Like, you know, because the reason I say this is because you might know somebody who, let's say for instance, someone that you know, one of your best friends in the whole wide world has been into gymnastics since you first met them. Gymnastics, you know what I'm saying? And so like you both stay friends for years and years and years, and you remember like when they were first doing gymnastics, they used to fall down all the time. They would be like the clumsiest, doing cartwheels and doing all, you know, that all the different types of techniques and stuff. I'm not really that proficient in the name of the moves, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like you've been there and you saw them do this ever since they were younger and just getting started, and they used to be so clumsy with it. So then you telling me you wouldn't be like highly impressed years later and they're still doing it and like they are like just killing it. All the moves are clean. It looks really good then. And it's like, you're thinking to yourself, it's like, oh my goodness, I remember when you could barely like freaking make the landing with these moves. And but look at it, he or she is just pulling them out left and right, left and right, left and right. Like, come on, like, that right there gets you more invested in the character. Because I'm pretty sure, like, you'd be proud of your friend and, like, be just so amazed. Because we all, for the most part, like that when you see how someone's just come from a long way. A long way from, like, you know, being scrubby and not being able to do it. And now here they are, they're just doing it like they were born with it. Just like they were born with it, born with it, born with it.
Yeah. Like,
he always talks about the reason he doesn't need to train in the beginning. I was born like this. I was born royalty. But that's how I would change. Like, maybe that's another video because I don't know if you saw it there or if anybody in the chat that watches my channel saw it. But I did a video. I want to do something a little bit different. I'm trying to always try to do some different stuff for y'all. You know, that's why I wanted to like play some games that time and talk to y'all. I like doing list videos then, but I've been like working on stuff in the background as far as scripts for stuff that I can't wait to do because it's different. But regardless, I don't know if you tuned in to when I talked about how they could improve Giovanna in Guilty Gear Strive. Maybe I could make a video about how to improve Alice. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. But I already got two videos that y'all want. Well, one of them y'all voted on, which was the facts about Kyo Kusanagi video. And last time, I don't know if y'all caught it because I know we were being hella jokey last time. I'm gonna, since people keep thinking that I'm putting my biases in my predictions, not a whole lot of you, but it's just I keep getting it. And plus, I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna show you how I would build KOF 15's roster. Me. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully I can get to work to those more than like I got the time to this week, but there. That is how. That's a sample of how I would improve Alice for KOF 15.
all right.
What's up with y'all in the chat? What y'all talking about? Fabio, how about Najed for the third member of the women fighters team? I'd love that, personally. I would love that personally. The thing about Najed is I really wish we would have gotten more of a storyline for her then. I really do. Now, maybe this might be one of those instances where we have to look at, because you guys helped me with it last time, maybe we need to look more at like the win quotes, because I know there's a compilation out there somewhere. There's got to be.
Yeah.
Because as far as we know, we just know Kim doesn't like her brand of justice, which, I mean, surprise, surprise. But Najed doesn't seem like somebody who wouldn't get along with somebody like a Mai or a Yuri Sakazaki. She might be like, I almost see like Najed as like, she's nice, and the characters, she's a great looking woman, great looking character overall. The shadow powers and everything, she looks unique. I could almost see her as like, you got mine, you got Yuri Sakazaki. These two have been teammates for years and all this other stuff. And then there's Najed, and it's like, she's that third person where she's buddy with the other two people, but she's the freak there. And I'm not talking about what you're thinking. I'm talking about like, yeah, her or whatever. Like, usually that third person would be somebody like, for instance, somebody who's very goth or very brooding or something. Whereas her two friends are like, you got one that's like the leader of the trio, the one that's like everybody's looking at, all the guys are looking at, all the girls want to be him or whatever. Then that's and then they have their left hand, that would be Yuri Sakazaki. And then there's the broody, dark, weird, freaky character in Najed. But of course, it's not saying that last character's always mean, because of course, as far as we know, Najed has a heart of gold. I don't think she has any ill intentions. Unless something else develops and... I don't know. But I would love that, personally. I would love to see her be the third member of the Women Fighters team. Speaking of, do any of you still remember the Dragon Spirit subplot that was introduced in the Psycho Soldiers ending in KOF 11? It was also one of the most forgotten storylines in the KOF series. I'm not everybody, but I can tell you I don't remember it. Do you, Syrin?
No, not at all.
Maybe another hint for how that team might be put together. Let's see. I rambled on for so long, like they're saying a lot of interesting stuff over here.
I got a lot of bullet points about the trailer.
Oh yeah. We can get to those moments here. I want to see if anybody else said anything. I don't want to I don't want y'all to think that myself and Syrin are ignoring y'all. It's just Syrin put me on the spot there. He's like, how would you change Alice?
Exactly.
Which that's fine, because it got to a point where I figured just saying she's got to feel fresh, that's not really convincing, and that's kind of generic. How would you freshen her up? This isn't the first time this AOF storyline was abandoned, though. It happened in KOF 2003, where Takuma suddenly had a heart attack and went to the hospital. When KOF 11 came, it went nowhere. Takuma was I feel like maybe they tried to justify that by saying that's the reason why he had been away for so long. But then again, I'm trying to think, when did he come back? Did he come back in 13?
He came back in 13.
Okay, just making sure. Maybe that's what they were doing, trying to write him out of the storyline or whatever. Johnny 299. Nice to have you here with us, Johnny. Seems like SNK has taken things from old KOF games 94 to 98, so probably Kasumi is going to be in the women's team. Do you like Kasumi at all, Syrin?
Honestly, not really. She's alright.
So it's a meh from
you? The whole Aikido playstyle is eh. The only Aikido character I really like is Hokuto.
Oh, he went to freaking EX layer on us. I can understand, Hokuto's a very, 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 very cool character. Alright, here's what Suichi was talking about. I guess this was in the middle of me trying to freshen up Alice, I guess. I'm okay with anyone in the Women Fighters team. Alice is the one I have less interest, but she's not the worst. She just looked boring, but I would love it if it was Li Zhangfei. That's the other one I was thinking about, Li Zhangfei. Not another favorite of mine, but I know a lot of people really like Li Zhangfei. Blue Mary is more than likely going to be a Women Fighter. She's a great leader.
Perfect. You just said that because Blue Mary is blue just started playing.
I just played it again over here. If that mess could be on repeat for the whole freaking stream over here, I would do it, but you have other good songs on here, like Hibiki Takane's song, so... Do you really think, and it's not to say they're mean or anything, but would they really, allow Blue Mary to be the leader over Mai? Do you think they would?
Probably not.
don't even know if Maya would be willing to give up like her leader spot like that. But I mean, she's technically done it before because she was on Team Fatal Fury back when it was, you know, the teams of fours. I can't talk today. I was doing all right at first. With the current trend of designs, Johnny 299 again. With the current trend of SNK Blue Mary's, Blue Mary's design is going to be hot AF. Maybe. Maybe. How hot though?
The whole screen filled up with her thickness.
I think Shermie already beat her to the punch with that.
You might be right.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? You claim one thing, stranger things happen somewhere else. Fabio, so Pretty Girl team is built with young girl like Meili, Hinako, Momoko, etc. Last time I checked, that's what they were in 2002 UM. That was pretty much a team of younger, you know, girls, basically. Because the Women Fighters team there... Was it the trio? I feel like they had another third person. It's my... I don't think it was my King Yuri Sakazaki. I don't think it was the three of them. I feel like... Because they were in the game. I just don't think that that wasn't that incarnation of that team in 2002 UM. What if they did bring back the Pretty Girls team? It's like...
I don't know. I don't think anyone would be complaining as long as other good people got.
Yeah, because I do not think, like, again, a lot of the designs in KOF 14 were hit and miss, especially when it came to newer characters. So, I mean, and it's not to say all of them were bad. I mean, people, including me, they like Luong. People, including me, I think Kukuri is cool. I thought Mion was actually cool too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the overwhelming majority didn't like most of the newcomers in 14. I don't think they liked them.
I didn't hate all of them. I liked some of them, like Gang-il and Alice, and well, she wasn't really a newcomer. Well, she was new to the. Okay, she wasn't a completely new character, but she was new to KOF since she was from the Pachinko team. Moi Moi was also pretty cool.
About, I guess, the Najed comment. Jose says, that's unlikely. Najed is pretty much going to have her own team. We still don't know what's her true goal in the Verse Saga. They need to rewrite her story. Rewrite or just expand. I mean, well, then again, yeah, because there was nothing really there. Everybody say hi to that creepy reading in the chat. I've actually been a fan of this guy for a long time. I discovered him through another YouTuber named Blame It On George, and you know, I supported him there, and like he's always like really thankful. Like he's really thankful for his fans. Really thankful. So awesome guy, even though I think I'm kind of the odd one out because he has a Discord. I feel like I'm the odd one out. Not so much for anything bad, just because my close friends know me. I'm very fighting game / visual novel centric, you know, so.
Alright.
But they play, like, they were talking about something in there that's kind of like, I think it was called Town of, is it Salem, which is like Werewolf, the little role-playing, like the board game with the cards. I know it was like Mafia, Werewolf, and I guess it was called Town of Salem. And yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I'm a furry. Creepy. I just feel bad calling him creepy. I'm like, yeah, what do I call him? I call him creepy.
Huh. I mean, I don't know what else you call him.
If you like interest in like, if you like creepypastas, if you like interest in like list videos and topics about scary things, then check him out, Jose. Check him out. I was just surprised that he's here. Unexpected arrivals there. And by the way, what's up, Parker Burris? I'm gonna seek somebody.
It's like streams, like Rizzy shows up or something.
Man, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, man.
Hey, like he mentioned you or something?
Yeah, I just basically dropped in because I was doing some editing, and I just happened to like drop in because, dropping on the stream, like, because whenever I'm doing like long editing for a day, I like to have something going on in the back, whether it's a playlist or maybe it's like a podcast, and I got a notification from YouTube that he was live, and so I'm like, okay, why not? So I just said, hey, what's up? Then I would kind of pop my head in there and, talk to them about stuff, because the first subject, of course, at least from what he's seeing, because I don't go on the forums like him and Chief do. Shout outs to Chief Red Star. But apparently around I think it was when they didn't have a KOF trailer that one week when we saw Hibiki Takane. Yeah, okay. Apparently there was a lot of outrage at the fact, like, oh my goodness, how could y'all take a break like this? And Rizzy was like just asking the general question, like, do we think that, I don't know if he said like the SNK audience in particular, but our I guess, let's just assume it. If I misquote him, he can come and get me or whatever. I'll take the fall. He was like, our SNK, our fans a little too entitled when you just see stuff like that all over the place. I mean, because like I said, they at least told us they would be back the week after. You know what I'm saying? They could have left us out to dry and just said nothing. And I'm not meaning to pick on, this particular person, because this man has done awesome stuff as far as, his fighting game franchise and everything. We heard about Tekken Cross Street Fighter years ago. And for one reason or another, hey, there might be a valid reason as to why we haven't heard anything. I mean, but still, the point is, SNK at least didn't leave us out to dry, because they could have just stopped and like, all of us sitting over here waiting at 10 o'clock. Wherever it is, over here at 10 o'clock p.m., just looking over here, just looking. It's 10 o'clock, where's the trailer? Refresh.
Yeah, it would be 10 o'clock for where you're at.
If I Am 2 is meant to refer to the furry thing, then, that's nice to know. Nice to have you, creeper. Like, I'm still kind of shaking up, because I didn't expect him to come here. Let's see. I think that might have been everything else. I'm trying to like just catch up with what everybody else was saying, because there was a lot of stuff going on when I was trying to ranting about Alice. Johnny 299 says, I want Whip with a Dominatrix costume. That would make my day.
Okay.
I wonder if we'll even see Whip in this game. But, I hope so, because Whip is actually kind of cool. And COVID is killing a lot of things. I hope it doesn't kill this freaking stream, since they say, wasn't there some crap where it's like you don't say the name of it, or else they'll freaking get your channel? If it's monetization, then it doesn't matter here, because I'm not being monetized.
Oh yeah, I think it was something having to do with monetization. But, I mean, I would say luckily, but also it's not that great. But like, hey, I mean, none of us are monetized. I mean, hey, YouTube. Hey,
yeah, he said it. Yeah, Creepy confirmed to kill the monetization. Alrighty then. But speaking of people talking about like the SNK trailers, like I said, I don't dwell on the forums like that all that much, but I did catch just enough of this comment that it kind of made me laugh. I'm hoping they're talking within a certain scope of the reveals for the trailers, but some people were actually calling the Rio and Robert trailer the worst one.
What? Excuse me? I would have thought this would be objectively the best one.
I'm gonna hush. Syrin definitely had something to say. What did you all in the chat think about the Rio and Robert trailer? And if you don't know, I mean, you could like YouTube it right now and watch it and then tell me what you think, but Syrin, I think, wants to get in on this.
Okay.
Is this trailer the worst one?
No, not by a long shot. Have you seen Shune's trailer? My god. This trailer not only just showed up, it wasn't like the other trailers, where it was like, where it's all like showing off everything, but like, come on, you're getting one, for one, you're getting two characters, for two, you're getting like gameplay, new elements that they haven't shown before, and three, you're indeed 5 years old, as Maximilian Dude would say. But like, what? But
5 years old.
like, why would you think this is the worst one, huh? Huh? Where's it coming from? What? What is it? You didn't get your thick, hot, super cool KOF babe? No.
I had to mute my mic. I didn't want to like scare anybody when I was screaming over here. Oh man.
We got these two karate guys. We just got Ryu and Ken, but Ken's Italian or something. Like, go back to bed.
Oh my god.
Like, what? What do you mean this is the worst trailer?
Johnny legit. Okay, Johnny and I are seeing eye to eye right now because I thought maybe, because see, I watched. So usually, I mean, I don't instantly watch people react to like, you know, stuff that I react to. Not instantly, like I might wait a day or two. But after I reacted to the this particular trailer with Rio and Robert, I immediately watched a whole bunch. Like I watched Max, I watched Chief, I watched Rizzy, I watched like other smaller like YouTubers, Petite Tube as it's called. Like there's a website they're called Petite Tube where basically it's a roulette that'll send you to like YouTube videos that have like under a certain amount of views. I think it's under 1K maybe. But I did so because I'm just thinking, I'm like, am I just being really bitter, or did Robert get in more of his stuff than Rio did? Because that's like what Johnny in the chat said. He was like, Rio and Robert trailer, more like a Robert trailer. I'm like, I like to agree. Matter of fact, let me ask you that. Don't you think that too? Like, am I just like biased, or like am I just like out my mind? But I'm pretty sure he got more of like, I'm pretty sure Robert got more of his stuff in there. Like more of his moves.
I don't know if it's my reaction, but I was super excited that his armor punch is back.
The armor punch?
Okay, so if you fought against,
are you talking about like the mechanic that both of them did, like the whole thing where like they would take a hit?
Okay. I don't know if you saw it, but like he does like this. He kind of leans a little bit backward, and he puts his arm up in front of him, and then he punches. That's his. It's almost 1-for-1 Takuma's like armored punch.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I barely saw anyone even like talk about it. I'm like, guys, this is a new move, and this is a move that's like kind of drawing him closer to his dad. Also, I mean, is that like a hint towards maybe by the end of this he might become the next Mr. Karate? Probably not.
A lot of people think he should have gotten like the freaking the mantle in this game right here. A lot of people wanted him to have the Mr. Karate mantle right here.
I mean, I'd love that, but I feel like it could wait at least one more game. Like, this is my theory, right? A little tiny theory. But at the end of this game, a couple things I think are going to happen, at least with Rio. I think, potentially, him and King might grow a little bit closer. Right. I'm not saying... I'm talking, like, maybe they text each other a little bit more. I ain't talking... freaking clapping cheeks or anything like that, but like
yeah, it's just like my friends that like play like the MOBAs and all like the team shooters and stuff like that. I thought like they say that all the time, just clapping cheeks. They love saying that. They love that. They love it, man. I had to think for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold up. Have you played like the Smite guys or whatever?
I have not. I played TF.
Nah. But your theory on, I guess it's pushed to the mantle.
Yeah. So like maybe we'll be at like maybe by KOF 17 we'll be at that holding hand.
This man said 17. By the way, I dropped like one other little fun fact here. When they put Rio in Bariki 1, and also when he was a guest character in Fatal Fury, they did not like the orange gi. They didn't like it. The designers, they hated the orange G. That's why if you look at those games right there, he has like the little dark grayish one in certain aspects. Then
Except in 2
So
or
what?
1.
So
He made a secret guest appearance in Fatal Fury,
That
either
was-
1 or 2.
yeah, that was it. Like, but the creators there, they hated the orange G. They were like, can we get
They gotta. I think they gotta like. Sorry to cut you off.
no cool.
Personally, I think what they gotta do SNK is they gotta re-release some of these old Neo Geo 64 games on PC. Give them rolled back. It'd be so much more charming. Like, sure, they didn't do super well, but mainly because it was on like a console that
Right.
didn't do super well. Obviously, not that like SNK's stuff never did incredible, other than maybe the first Neo Geo and maybe the Neo Geo Pocket, I guess.
The crazy thing is like I wonder like how the Smash players, like the Smash community, looks at it then, because just out of curiosity, I went and I rewatched like the full stream because I only like saw the announcement when they announced Terry for Smash. I actually went the other day and watched like the full thing. This man Masahiro Sakurai was getting educational with it. Then he even recommended like the 2 games that to play from like Fatal Fury and AOF, like the old school SNK games. He even gave recommendations for people like who didn't know about the series where to start. He's sitting over there like he's educating y'all about who this character is, from what game, and who they don't like here. It's like that man was educating people. It was really awesome.
Yeah. It was like I'd say it's probably the best, Smash presentation thing they did. Because Terry had a lot, and I think he unpacked it in such a great way. And you could tell he was passionate about it, because he's obviously an SNK fan. If you watch.
Oh, yeah. What's going on over here? Jose, what's really shocking is that Brian Fury and Yasuhiro Nanakaze both debuted in 1997. Tekken 3 came out in March, and KOF 97 came out in July. Could it be a coincidence? I'm guessing talking about how similar they look. Meh, maybe. It can happen. It could happen.
But yeah, I'd love to see like something. I'd love to see. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Sorry.
That's cool. That's cool.
Something I'd love to see them do though is like at least try and revisit or redo some of these old series. I'd like to see them do like make a new Bariki one,
which is what people in the chat are talking about as well.
Or like a new Artifact or a new Fatal Fury game.
Creepy as, can I do worse fighting games? I mean, I would, but I'll have to look into it, because one thing, and I'm a little like, just to get into a little something, I select most of the list I do because I try to cover things that, I try to focus on topics and stuff that no one else has really covered then. And I almost feel like worst fighting games has been done to death almost. However,
it's Street Fighter, the video.
Now, the one time that I will like do a list about something that's been like covered before is if I have a different opinion. But I'll have to try. I might like just try and like put it together and see like if it's anything different from what somebody else has put out. I'll have to see, but it's a nice idea. What's up? What's up?
Because I was like, this reminded me is like there was this one video I wanted to do. It would be talking a lot of smack about Chief Red Star, but I'd also bring up some of the good things he's done, but like mainly just talk like huge smack about some of the just absolutely stupid things he said. Like he said some good stuff, but like there's some stuff. I remember me and my cousin were watching him, right? I'm like, okay, this guy, this is by far the stupidest thing he's ever did, and I think it's probably just an accident on his part. But it's so funny to me because it just shows how it just emphasizes it. He said, okay, so it's been this game, something about a game in 2009, right? And he said it's been 2 decades. And I'm like, it's not been 2 decades. I'd let you off at a decade and a half, but it's been like...
What it?
It's been like 20 years.
What do you mean from two? What do you mean like 2 decades? What was I meant to say? Like it's too far gone to be brought back?
He said I think it's like he said something about a game. It's been so long since I've seen the clip, but it was like he basically said 12 years. The game it had been like the game hadn't come out since like I think it was either 2009 or 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like 12 or 13 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so it's been about 2 decades. I'm like, that's not 2 decades. I just found it really funny.
Well,
kind of made fun of him.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But like, just other stupid stuff he said as well.
Parker Burr's chat says he has a hard on for 2D sprites. I'm not.
Yeah,
really, I'm not. I'm personally not that choosy. Like, I mean, I don't think it's in the eye of the beholder. I guess is the most cliche thing to say, but I don't think any of the 3D models in 15 are bad. Really, I really don't think so. I mean, I understand people like, cause it wasn't even just him; it was a bunch of other people telling us, like, why can't they like do it like Arxis? And I'm like, I don't think anybody wants to make something where like they're looking at the style. And it's just like, oh my goodness, Arxis must have like stuck their hand in this right here. It's like, oh my goodness. You know
how difficult it would be to do that?
I mean, like they're just not, I just think a lot of people when it comes to like their creation, they don't want to make it seem like they had to like have somebody, or even like looking like they're biting off anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think any of the 3D models like actually not that bad, really.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're talking about it, like, I mean, I've already given my opinion about the 2D sprites in freaking 13 already, enough as it is. I know I've repeated some stories to y'all, and I don't want to repeat that one, because you all know how I feel by now. You know how I feel. I mean, because people just worship, oh my goodness, KOF 13, the best designed one, it's perfect, it's unflawless, then if you say anything about it, like you're off your rocker, and it's like, not so much in my case. Because Kyo, Elizabeth. Matter of fact, I mean, most of the characters in that game have good sprites. I mean, y'all know who I'm gonna say had bad sprites. You already know who I'm gonna say. Yuri Sakazaki. Athena, yeah. Whatever. We talked about this before. I thought the best thing about 13's design was really just how freaking crazy, and in some cases clean, how the backgrounds look. I know that sounds kind of like somebody who is just looking and just going out of their way to find something good or whatever, but I just like that for some reason. It's like, you know, you get the KO, and then like everything slows down, and then I like that. Like, it looks like it's crazy, but it's fluid and it looks good. I mean, a lot of the, I almost said maps, a lot of the stages look really good in that game too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not really all that picky about like what sprites then. I mean, I've said it before, like the best way I could metaphorically put it is, as long as the mess doesn't look like, one, just awful looking, one, and two, if it doesn't make me legit want to like scratch out my eyes, like, what was that skin I always make fun of? The infrared scorpion mess from Mortal Kombat X. As long as there's nothing like that, you're at least doing something right. Now, the sprites that I mentioned that I didn't like in 13, they weren't that bad, but come on now. And then maybe I'm just upset about them because these are like the characters I played. I played Yuri Sakazaki in freaking 13. That freaking sprite is messed up. It would just kill me anytime somebody talks about some, oh my goodness, what did they do to her in 15? I'm like, don't tell me you like 13 sprite Yuri Sakazaki, please. Please don't. Please don't tell me. Do not tell me that mess is the symbol of like something so beautiful. It isn't. I can't come around to it. I am confident I will never change my mind on how bad that sprite looks.
Alright.
And then why was Maya's head so big? Like, it was like she had like a frick. I've talked about this before. I'm not going back there again. And Jose, I don't want to be calling folks out then, but I agree. Because he was talking about something. He's an okay guy, but at least he's not like a Force Snake level of a-hole. He isn't. And Force Snake makes really good content too. Don't get me wrong. His content is really good. I actually came I actually first got introduced to Force Snake stuff because I'm a big, like, Frost is one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. And when I looked in depth at the way they presented her over the years, I didn't think they did the best with her. Like, I'm not saying every character's got to be dominant, because everybody can't be a winner. It can't happen, though. But it's like, if you're going to present somebody as a threat, if you're going to present somebody as, like, you know, I'm about to use wrestling terminology here, a main eventer, but whatever. Some of y'all here are wrestling fans, so I can say that. Shout out to all the wrestling fans in my chat, by the way, and in Syrin's chat. Shout out to everybody in Syrin's chat. Everybody in Syrin X Richxson universe. Everybody. I'm surprised nobody here. I never surprised nobody here asked about Pancake then, but I guess they looked at the screen and was like, we don't see the thing on the table, so maybe he's not here. But shout out to Pancake. Raspy lighting all of y'all over there.
Yeah.
But rewinding back to the main point with Force Snake, I was going to do a video about how they should have presented, like, Frost. I think I was going to call the series Doom from the start, where it's like something in fighting games, whether it's the game itself, a concept, a character that they put out there, and unfortunately the mess was so bad at the beginning that it was doomed from the start. When I was thinking about doing the Doom from the Start series for Frost, that's when I came into contact with Force Snake talking about the Wasted Potential videos. And those videos are actually really good. Check them out. I'm serious. But at the same time, like Jose said, I don't care too much for the guy's attitude. Yeah, but like I said, that doesn't take away from, like, the fact he makes really good content.
Alright.
And I give Chief credit, at least, like, if you're gonna be somebody who's gonna be the contrarian, which I'm not saying that's, like, what, you know, his whole MO is, but sometimes, you know, he kind of does play that role. But I respect, like, somebody who can be a contrarian and actually, like, stand up and defend what they're saying. Sometimes, like, it can be flawed, because there are times they'll say stuff and I'm like, y'all just put something in, like, the freaking Discord in the, I almost call it the Richxson verse.
Oh god, no, it's not that.
I thought it was, but somebody in there put a screenshot of Apollo Justice from Ace Attorney. It's like, just like the thing that you mentioned there about the decade. I mean the 2 decades mess, or the 20 years, whatever it was. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, no. That's why I appreciate you all, especially when it came to the prediction series. Y'all pointed out stuff to me that, like I said, that's not just me talking there. Y'all helped me out, because I totally glossed over. Well, I didn't gloss over it, I just missed it. I don't know if those mean the same thing, but I missed that little detail about the whole copyright dispute when it came to Love Heart, which, by the way, my heart goes out to all of y'all, because I know it's not the same thing, but when they didn't have Jade in Mortal Kombat X, like, that really broke my spirit, because that's my favorite Mortal Kombat character, Jade. But thankfully, you know, hey, Kotal Khan was fun, Ferritor was fun, Leatherface was fun, so I had other characters to play. But, you know, not seeing your favorite character can be heartbreaking, especially if it's a long-time character. Now, I'm not saying, like, you know, Love Heart's long time, but clearly she had the fan base. She had quite the fan base. Quite the fan base. Same thing goes, since you mentioned Chief. I didn't realize Chief was such a big supporter of K49.
God, I keep hearing that. I'm like, dude, have you even seen?
I know he had like a fan base, K49 that is, but I didn't know, like, Chief was even supporter. I'm like, whoa, really? Huh. This man, like...
Thing is, when I saw it, right, I'm like, okay, maybe
K49?
he forgot about. Yeah, when he mentioned it, I'm like, okay, maybe he forgot about Nameless, and he keeps bringing it up. I'm like, okay, for someone who talks a lot about KOF and all that,
well, just to interject slightly, there are people, like, I forgot who it was. I don't want to call any names and get it wrong, but there was somebody over here that said that they, unless they were trolling, I could be wrong, but they said they preferred K49 over Nameless. But I know where you're going, but go ahead and go. My bad.
doesn't even mention Nameless for one, which makes me think, I'm like, okay, I get it. Not every person is going to know every single character from KOF, and I get that part.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about K49, how is it that you don't know jack about, like, Nameless? And for someone who talks so much about rollback netcode and stuff like that, which is fine, obviously. We all it's kind of just like a needed thing now for really any game.
Yes.
But
yes,
it's just like, have you even played UM or 2002 UM? You talk about all this like rollback and you talk about KOF and all that, but like, have you even played one of them with rollback? You seem to like forget
This
so
man
much.
This man want the credibility. This man, this man Syrin want credibility.
And then the funniest thing was like he talked about what was the last game Shermie was in. I'm like, was it 13? I'm like, you played a KOF game? No, it wasn't 13. She hasn't been in one canonically since '97, and then she, I think, last appeared technically in 2002 UM out here with that like, stupid.
This man's
stupid,
going in.
like,
Y'all hear this man? Y'all hear this man? He's going in.
Some of the crap he says pisses me off, and it's
but
like.
for the record, as you recall, remember I told you, and by the way, I love Rufalmonger, by the way, Johnny. I love Rufalmonger. Who had a problem with him? Oh, him. Wow. Sheesh. Anyways, so I mean, hey, look, I understand like Rufalmonger might be like hella freaking, you know, chill and everything. Like I said, I like Rufalmonger too, but hey, believe it or not, people hate Maximilian. So I know that might be hard to believe, but I mean, because Max doesn't really do anything to anybody, you know, but people hate Maximilian too. You know, so but right, so remember I told you I usually don't like instantly after I do a reaction watch what everybody else is saying, or even before. I don't do it ever because I want to form my own opinion. I don't want to have any outside influences, you know. So remember I told you I looked all around when it came to the Rio and the Robert trailer, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I did watch Chief, and I actually like, to his credit, he at least said, you know, bring K49 back, but redesign him, which I'm like, clearly he knows, but I'm like, how would that work exactly? Like, I mean, like, cause I'm looking at it from this perspective, like, do you think people will buy it? Still, like, you know, will they still be invested in K49 if he's redesigned?
Probably not.
Now, I have an out possibly for it, but I think it might be a little silly, but hey, this is fighting games. Fighting games, whether it be Street Fighter or this stuff or whatever, if you're not playing stuff like, for instance, the MMA and like the stuff that's what's called sports games, you know, MMA and UFC and all that, silliness is in these games, okay? Silliness is in fighting games. Anybody that sits here talking about, like, because one thing I really can't stand that certain gamers do in general, I don't like when people try to tack like grandiose freaking titles on there, you know, like this game right here, like y'all play this right here, this is a real man's fighting game. It's like, you're playing not
You're playing
I forgot where, but it was somebody talking about some, like, you know, I forgot where, but I think at the shop I used to go to, there was a bunch of people playing Mario Kart or something like that. And this guy was like, you know, for instance, like, why are you people still playing Mario Kart? This is come play a real man's freaking racing game. And like, I'm expecting to see like something like NASCAR or like something or whatever. Man, talking about freaking CTR. And CTR is a great freaking racing game, don't get me wrong. CTR is awesome.
Pulls out Asphalt 9.
But like, a real man's game? I didn't realize CTR was so pumped full of testosterone. Oh god.
Steam testosterone out of
But
the
nevertheless,
con.
what's up?
The testosterone is just steaming out of the console.
Oh my god.
Right.
But for the record, I was saying I have an out for the whole thing with redesigning K49 to not piss off excuse me, I almost said it wrong. The Akira people. Y'all are gonna laugh at me, but y'all can call me whatever y'all want to. Hey, better late than never is what I always say. I actually finally watched that movie for the first time yesterday early in the morning. And I can see why it's considered so important. Because watching Akira, because it's on Hulu, that legit looks like, even though I know what anime these days looks like, Akira looks like it could have been made like right now. So I see why it's such an important series. And in the manga, I know is legendary. But with that being said, though, the only way I could think about if they could just, buy K49 being redesigned. Oh, the rhymes. This might be stupid, but let me know what you think. Let's say there is still, for instance, somebody who I guess operates like one person got away from Nest, like they're still around. And I guess maybe he got what happened. I hate saying that because there's a joke talking about when you say what had happened was, it means you're lying, but no. So, let's say for instance, they grant Chief and all of K49's other fans wishes, because that ain't even really a diss, because this man has fans. I've seen people mention wanting K49 back so bad. I've seen so many people saying K49 is cooler and better than Nameless. I personally disagree, and I think Nameless is alright. But I mean, hey, that's just me talking. So, how about they want to grant people's wishes there, and the story is, let's say Angel, whatever you want to call her, because that's like the one person that we know is a friend of hers. She goes and she's drifting all around because remember that little image of her on the motorcycle with K49 or whatever? Yeah. Let's say, she drifts away from Team Mexico and she finds him. But he is she knows it's him despite the fact this is almost like one of those grisly murders where it's it's them, but it's you have a feeling that it's them, but usually you won't find out until the DNA test and all that. But K49 is just screwed all the way up. He is he's still in one piece, but this man has been decimated. Huh. So she picks him up, she takes him back and begs somebody who at least is experienced in rebuilding and even if it's some crazy, surgery or whatever, then they're good at restoring people then. Because, that happens sometime in real life. It's not with, the crazy stuff we see in anime, manga, and cartoons, but, we've seen face restoration surgeries and stuff like that. Let's say they do that for K49. And, they justify that for the reason, or that is the reason why he looks so different than he did before.
He got hit by a helicopter.
That's how I'd book that. my freaking wrestling lingo, but that's how I would book it. If you want K49's return, so you don't want to. Dang it. I'm getting so many video ideas from this right here. Creepy came in one and worst fighting games, freaking, how they should bring back Alice if they want to bring a K15, how they should bring back K49. Y'all might have indirectly given me the inspiration for another series.
Yeah,
but that's how I guess you would sell it being K49, but he's redesigned. That way you don't make any freaking IP, copyright holders mad. Even though, hey, they're gonna look at that and say oh, wait a minute, K9999, oh my goodness, they're bringing that thing back? Didn't they freaking jack that thing from us? Oh, it's somebody else. Well, okay, I guess we can't really sue. What are his moves like? Because his moves and his mannerisms, they were bit from us too, and it's here's the thing.
You can't sue over that.
I mean, that was kind of one of the things that was mentioned in terms of why they felt the character was a ripoff. But you're right, you can't really copyright a fighting style. Unless, of course, something is legit freaking copy paste and give it another name or something, but whatever.
It's Buster Wolf.
But here's what you do though. K49 is back, but he looks different. And think about it, like he legit just recovered from being like mangled to near death.
It's by Xanadu. It
Like
all works out.
Like he's rebuilt now. So like with the rebuilding, he gets like, you know, different powers. Or, I mean, if you want to just be funny, give him, you might hate me for saying that. But in that case, okay, if you don't want to do that, then hey, how about just give him freaking Nameless's moves?
Dang.
Well, like I said, that's how I would do that.
I feel like Nameless has a more interesting story, though.
He had more of a fleshed out story, I'll put it like that.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be disappointing if they did nothing with that.
But at the same time, unfortunately, wasn't he like a one character, wasn't he like a one game character? Or like a one, like, not so much a one game character, but like, you know, he was there and then he's gone.
Okay, you can say that, but they brought back Huajai in 13.
Well, we're not talking about Wajai. We're just
I know we're not talking about Huajai, but he was like such an insignificant character, so it's possible.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The story never was really built around him. The reason why somebody like a Wajai can come back is because, I mean, he's like, you know, one of the other favorites. Like, he's not like somebody who's central to the storyline. You know, Ness, like all these guys, K49, Nameless, all these people were Ness. Like,
I feel like it'd be the perfect time though for them to bring back K49, since there's like small bits of Ness kind of coming back.
yeah.
It'd be like the perfect time to do that because, hey, we've got a little bit of a storyline. We can bring back a character that a lot of people like, and hey, it would kind of work out.
Let me ask you something, like, so far, and it might be a little too early to tell.
All right.
Well, okay, hold on a minute, because Johnny is like, redesign K49 is almost impossible because, come on, he is Akira. Yeah, by the way, it's, and it was funny because when I watched the movie, I knew the character's name that, like, you know, he was lifted from, Tetsuo Oshima. And, like,
Yeah.
when I at first, like, saw, you know, the pictures and, like, the comparison with K49 and Tetsuo, so I knew about that beforehand. So here I come, I'm watching the movie for the first time, and I'm like, wait a minute, he doesn't look like that. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Give it some time. Because I know he's the main antagonist, but I don't know what the storyline is. And, you know, that was just interesting. But yeah, it's like, the reason we're talking about redesigning him is because, you know, that way you can have him back, but like not piss them off. You know what I'm saying? Now, that, interestingly, what Johnny's putting out there is the other side of the coin that I'm worried about. If you redesign, we just said this. Well, we just said this. If you redesign K49, are the people that really are fans of this character and not trolling, which I don't know how to like divide that group up or whatever, but are they gonna buy it if he's redesigned?
Who knows?
Because a lot of people really, sometimes they really do not like, you know, some redesigns. Some redesigns have been very controversial. And not for like, you know, not talking about freaking Shermie thickness in one area and my stuff and all of that. Talking about like the fans not liking it controversy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But they would, but I mean, at the end of the day, they would have to redesign him then. Or at least, the thing about it is, when I heard Chief talk about, you know, bring K49 back but redesign him, in my mind I jokingly thought that, oh my goodness, he must I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, did you mention like in one of your videos? And I was gonna say he like listens to Syrin because Syrin talks about, you know, Verse coming back, but Verse looks different. We know it's Verse, but it doesn't look like the thing we saw in 14. He looks like somebody else. Yeah. That's what I thought. In my mind, I was joking about that. Like, I was like, wait a minute, did he like listen to Syrin or something? Like, bring him back but redesign him. That's kind of what Syrin wanted for Verse.
Yeah.
But that would be weird. I just don't know if they would still buy it because, like, oh my goodness, he doesn't look like him. Now, if they say that, it rolls back around to what you're saying. It rolls back around. It's like, come on, man. Like, and like I said in the last Shattering, the previous episode, those of you in here who are wrestling fans, y'all get this reference, and I'll explain it just in case people don't catch it. They are trying to freaking Chris Benoit this character. In other words, that's the guy, big time wrestler. He wasn't a bit player. You know, was involved in that murder-suicide of his family and his wife and his son. And ever since they confirmed... Yes, that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, but because at first they had a tribute show for him when they found out he died, but then once it had been revealed and confirmed that he was the one that had, murdered his, family and then murdered his wife and son and then killed himself. From that point on, despite all the years, and WWE owns, WCW, property, titles and the archives and everything. And that's one of the places where Chris Benoit started out. Despite all this man's long career and all the great stuff he's done, because he was hella talented. But after that happened, they ceased to mention him everywhere. Everywhere. And that is what they are doing to K49. And I'm saying that because I bring this up all the time, but it's so funny yet it's so heartbreaking.
I just thought of something really stupid.
It's so heartbreaking, but like have you seen like that picture yet? Somebody took
Which one?
They took like a picture of, I'm guessing it's like the it's an SNK character encyclopedia or something like that. And they mentioned K49, like K49 is in there, but like if you recall that one still of his, it's a silhouette though of him. You haven't seen that picture yet?
Yeah. I have not actually.
You know what? Like, I know you have some stuff to say and also some bullet points there, but like, go on ahead. I'm gonna try to find it. It's got to be out there still.
Okay. Right. Yeah, right. The news, I call it the guard into CD thing. I took a look later on, and it's apparently you don't have to be guarding, because at first I'm like, oh, it's that thing from 2003 where you block and then you press CD and then it like immediately, it's like a counter kind of. And it's like that new mechanic, but people keep a very focus of attack, and I'm like, focus attack? Don't you have to charge focus?
I can see that. I can see it. The reason why they're probably comparing it to a focus attack is because roughly every time we saw that move being done, whether it was Rio doing it or Robert doing it, they were absorbing a hit from the other. Like, one was absorbing a hit from the other. So I can see, I can see that. But I do not think there's going to be like any, because in Street Fighter 4, you could extend combos by canceling those from like certain moves.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case here. I don't think so.
This is kind of what we're talking about. We don't do that. We just cancel special to special with the meter.
Somebody
We don't need no.
I saw somebody who like once, like it was their first time ever seeing like freaking KOF 13, like high level play. And when after they watched the match, the person broke down like the I think the person asked, how much health do these characters have? And like when they explained it to him, it's like, I mean, they need to do something about that. Like the mess has to be high. It has to be higher. That's ridiculous. They were like watching these combos people were doing in 13, like that's ridiculous. He was like, but every time like by the time they went to like the 85th hit, it's just tiny damage. He's like, it still needs to go. That's disgusting. It was just so funny.
Oh my god. I remember, like, I've always never had a problem with KO 13's damage. So I'm like, okay, you guys have to have specific timing. So I'm more or less impressed by it. Even when I got, like, completely destroyed online, I'm like, well, I can't really be mad because what you guys are doing isn't even cheap. It's just impressive. So I'm like, you know what? I can't even be mad at this. I just need to get better at it. It's like, I'd be mad if it was like, oh, I'm getting hit by the same thing over and over again and it just keeps working. But like, they're doing something special and they know what they're doing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, personally, I am best online the best game I have, like, fighting game with online experience I have, is probably 13.
Mm-hmm.
Just shocking because I'm not all that comfortable. For one, when it comes to fighting games, I'm like okay, I'm like copper tier or bronze, yeah, copper tier I think.
This man said copper tier.
SF5.
This man said copper tier.
Something like that. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. But
This
I'm
man
not very
said-
like Street Fighter 5 or any of that.
Shout outs to Syrin. Y'all give your shout out to Syrin. This man said copper tier.
Yep, I sure did. Okay.
I told him earlier, like, I know it can be like just amazing when you see certain people who are just really just out there just killing like the game and everything. Like they're just hitting these combos effortlessly, hitting the buttons, and it seems like it's freaking second nature and all that. But I mean, a lot of those people, like there are very few actual Kios in the world. Very few. And when I say Kios, I mean, because you know everybody, well, I gotta give Kyo credit. And by the way, what's up, Super Duper? Good to see you. Because credit to Kyo, they actually did develop his character a bit. He actually matured some, but this man has always been of the belief that, why do I need to train, man? I was like born with greatness, man. I was a part of the Kusanagi clan. We're still talked about today. We're lied on today to freaking keep Orochi and like all these other evils at bay.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm born with talent. Like, there are very few Kios in the world that are born with talent. And the thing is, like, I'll go a step even further. Most of the people that are even quote unquote born with it, born with the talent, a lot of them still harness. A lot of them still practice. A lot of them still see themselves as like not even above people that, you know what, maybe they might be better than, but it's like they never get like ahead of themselves. So
Remember I like this one line Kyo had, and it's like, I've never even been to a hospital once. I'm like, were you just born at home?
Probably. Who knows?
Man, I wasn't super surprised.
Who knows?
I mean, it's over in America too. But who knows? And then I'm like, wait a second, that's a lie. You literally were in the hospital from the last game.
Yeah, I sent you. I found the picture of the censored K49 in like the. Let me make sure. Let me get this right for the rules.
Oh yeah, okay, I get it. I see it.
It was.
I had a feeling it was something like that.
The KOF 14 gallery, which also includes artwork where he was paired up with other characters. Oh no, my bad. Oh my goodness. That was the King of Fighters. Yep, the King of Fighters character encyclopedia.
Wow.
Matter of fact, let me.
There are so many of them. I needed to
Let
get
go
those.
my ego. Let go my ego. Let go my ego.
You heard the man. Lego is ego.
No breakfast over here. Breakfast for dinner. Wouldn't that be nice? Not really. Hold on a minute. Like, if y'all wondering why the screen
I'd have
went
to
dark,
say,
I found it. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Side note, I'd have to say breakfast is my least favorite meal of the day.
Y'all remember? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, breakfast is like my least favorite meal of the day. Surprisingly.
I'm a very strange person that honestly could not remember the last time I actually had breakfast. I really don't. Because
I usually skip breakfast most days too.
well,
to be
I skip
honest.
it because I don't wake up early enough for it.
Oh, okay. I
And
skip
that's-
it just because
And that's partially due like to
never-
my lifestyle of like being up late working on stuff and then, you know, having second shift jobs and all that. So
all right.
but I have like the picture that I sent you. Like y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? They got his name right there. It's him, but like it's turning out. I'm telling you, man. And I'm not saying like I don't like K49 at all. I have like a neutral.
But SMK hates K49.
Clearly they do. It reminds. You know what? Before like so, you all, for the most part, know about the fascinating facts about KOF character series that I started, by the way. For those of you waiting for the KO episode, it's still coming. Don't worry about it. But with that being said, I almost wanted to like take a page from, I don't know if What Culture did these first, but because I saw maybe a couple of other channels do it. But I was almost gonna do about maybe however many things I could find, like 10 things that SNK wants you to forget about King of Fighters. 10 things that SNK wants you to forget about King of Fighters.
KOF.
This
12.
I mean, like the whole series, then, because I mean, I'd have to cheat. I would have to cheat and use like all 14 plus games.
God. Yeah.
I have to cheat. And if I found more than 10, hey, why not? Since I love y'all guys so much for all the years supporting everything, why not do like the MVC episode and chalk it up to 20? If I could find them. But oh man. But yeah. He's right here. I mean, y'all see it, it's right here.
Oh boy. Okay, give me a second.
Alright. Get the dog. Suichi, you're funny. You're funny, man. So that's not K49, it's Noob Sidebot. So we already had a guest character in the freaking KOF all this whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god. But like I said, when you have it to where you'll put the character in your encyclopedia, you'll put his name up there, but then you put a silhouette up. Now, maybe they had to, because, I mean, hey, you don't want to get punched by it again. You don't want to get punched by another lawsuit, but my whole point is they want us to forget about this character. They want us to. They really want us to. But, I mean, like all other plans like that, it doesn't always work. The only way you're gonna make people forget about something like that is if you have, what's that mess from, like, what was it, Men in Black or something like that. What y'all saying in the chat while I'm tired to get back. Y'all are funny. I appreciate that, Johnny. 3 most kind SNK content creators are Rufo Manga, the dude from Neo Geo now, and thank you. Like, for the record, I keep emphasizing this, but I do cover SNK stuff. I do. I always preferred playing like Fatal Fury over, you know, some other Capcom games, and that's not a dig at Capcom. I like their games too, but it's just something about the SNK games that got me there, which is funny because I learned when they made Kyo, you know, and I'm not even gonna go into that in detail, but I'll put it like this. SNK looked at stuff like, you know, the characters in Fatal Fury and AOF, and they looked at them like, for instance, they looked at them like they were appealing to like an older demographic, which makes sense. They're older games. But also by the look of the characters, it's older guys and they're all muscled up and everything. You know what I'm saying? So like when they brought in Kyo and were looking to do this crossover fighting game, if you want to call it that.
Okay, I'm basically back.
Alright. But when they were looking to do this crossover fighting game, they brought in Kyo because this guy looks like he would appeal to a much more younger audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just going like down the list. I was gonna, you know, go down the list until you got back.
Okay.
Cause
oh yeah,
I appreciate the compliment from Johnny because he was like the chillest, the most kindest SNK content creators. Is like he mentioned Rufo Manga, he mentioned Neo Geo, and he mentioned me. Let's say I like fighting games. That's just all I gotta say. Like, you look at my channel history, that I've talked about a bunch of fighting games. It's just at the same time, I will keep up with trends, and I am looking forward to KOF 15. So, I mean, hey. But regardless, I'm overcomplicating it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Talking about, imagine if KOF had an anime adaptation. K49 is literally going to be Tetsuo, except he's Mexican.
Mexican Tetsuo. Yeah, that seems about right.
It's not hard to redesign it, give him multiple references to what he was, what the first inspiration came from, but change more things. Give Kaneda style jacket, Kaneda style jacket, change the shirt and pants. That was from Shuichi, and nice idea. Nice idea.
Give him the bomber jacket.
I'm sorry about that, Jose. I'll stop using that example because I've used the Kristen Law example too many times. I'm sorry about that. I don't want anybody coming on here and feeling like a downer. Come here to have fun. So I'm sorry about that. That's the first thing that came to mind. But you know, sometimes the first thing you say is supposed to be the best thing. It's not the best thing, and it's not the thing to say. I think y'all get.
Yeah.
I think y'all get what they're trying to do to K49. I don't have to make an example. Putting a character in your encyclopedia like your freaking shrine, if you want to call that, and blacking him out. Like, come on, man. What else? So instead of
I've got some.
So instead of B just Tetsuo, it's an Akira amalgamate of references. Akira. I gotta get my freaking pronunciation now. Yes, that worked probably. Because I mean, you all know this. There are so many different anime references across all these different freaking games with SNK, especially the fighting game. So many. People. One of the top babes in KOF or SNK overall is freaking Blue Mary. We all know where her design came from. We all know where that came from. Jose, unpopular opinion, I prefer Orochi Kyo designs and his Nest and Ash designs because not only is it way more iconic, but was featured in CVS and SVC. I mean, clearly they thought so too. Clearly they thought it was more, you know, better. Maybe in the next page there is it's K49 with that. They play Who's That Pokemon every single week with these silhouettes with us, man.
Yeah.
What was your first thought when you saw that silhouette?
I was like, what? They're doing what now?
I got a bullet point here if you don't mind.
Okay. Sure. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna let you go. Well, I'm gonna let you break it all down then. But cause once again, this was also gonna be a video idea that I was gonna do like in the middle. But let's talk about it now because why not?
Alright.
Has at this point, I know it might be too early to call it, because this is bound to be a big roster. KOF rosters tend to be very big, very, very big. But at this point in time, has SNK with KOF 15 lived up to its slogan, shatter all expectations? And why? Explain. And if you, and I don't know why I'm doing that. Well, you know what? Let's just go down that. Let's just start with that first. Your thoughts on that?
I can't say that they've shattered my expectations, but they definitely made me happy.
What is that?
They definitely haven't shattered my expectations, but they have made me happy.
Okay.
So, like, I can't say, like, it's not like, they haven't shattered my expectations, this game's gonna suck, or something like that. It's like,
right.
Sure, they haven't shattered my expectations, but you know how early on we are.
Right.
We don't even have a release date yet.
Yep, that is a good point. That is a good point right there. Like, we still don't know because, and I almost feel like
I'm thinking they're going to be E3.
E3?
Maybe the E3, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they might review like the release date, maybe a team, some stuff like that. That's my guess, at least. I could be completely wrong.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm of the same belief of you. Like, the thing is, when you put something out like that, we're kind of expecting it. It's like freaking TV Tropes calls it the Red Baron. Like some freaking big title, some big braggadocious title, some type of nomenclature that characters give themselves. Now, yeah, obviously all the characters don't instantly live up to it. They don't. But at the same time, it's like shatter all expectations is quite the statement. it's quite the
I
statement.
feel like they will eventually. I don't think it's going to be early on,
Nah.
but I think they're going to shatter some expectations.
Like they no, they can't. They can't. They just. It just can't be like that. It doesn't have to. It can't end like that. It can't begin like that. It can't venture off like that. Basically, what I'm saying is like they're making a state. Like, you know, they say it's like an early reveal date basically spoils the amount of characters for us, because that case, if it's an early one, more than likely it means a smaller roster. Or, and here comes something else very dreaded, that means they won't do this though. Cross Tag Battle made the mistake of like hiding half of the, you know, characters on the beginning roster behind the paywall. Here's to hoping they don't make that mistake with this game. They shouldn't. Do not.
They wouldn't. They're not scummy. They're not Capcom.
Pardon me in the back playing with the freaking playlist. But my biggest thing here is the fact that you say Shadow Expectations, that's a statement.
Yeah.
A big one. And Johnny in the chat said KOF 15 coming out in 2030, Shadow Expectations. Coming out 2030. No,
Well,
I don't want to. I'm not even gonna make a joke about that. It made me laugh though.
shatter all your patience.
Basically, that's what it should be in that case. Shatter all of your patience. That's what that really is. My expectations, that's freaking shattering like your patience. Really, man? We've heard of pushbacks before. I mean, Guilty Gear Strive got pushed back. But not like that. Come on now. But
2030.
my biggest thing is the fact, like, Shatter Expectations, like, it's a statement. And it's not like just something generic. When it's coming from somebody like SNK, you're expecting a lot. You're expecting something to blow your mind. Have they shattered my expectations? Have they blown my mind? No. Am I still anticipating the game? Yes. This was gonna be
They
a list.
reveal a trainer at E3.
Oh my god.
The good old Gang of
So,
Fighters.
for those of you that are still here, by the way, shout outs to all of you. Shout outs to everybody that was here. Like, I mean, for one reason or another, y'all might have had to speed to work or something. I don't know your lives. But I appreciate you stopping by. Those that came and went. This was going to be another sporadic video, but I felt we could talk about it now. Gonna be a little short one called 5 Things SNK, at least in my opinion, must do with KOF 15 to shatter all expectations. Now I'm just gonna like explain each and every single one of these points, and you can give your take on whether you agree, disagree, and why. Okay, you ready? Now, the first thing here, I think all of us can agree on that are looking forward to this game. I think all of us can agree.
Okay.
Now, for the record, I'm doing it like in my little more engaging style. Like, I'm not just like writing out the points or whatever. I'll write a title out for the point. Like, for instance, number 1 is Embrace Orochi. And when I say Embrace Orochi, I mean include Team CYS's Orochi forms in this game.
Okay.
Include them as a secret selection. People think
like
that...
EX character?
Say what?
Like EX character?
Yes. Yes. Because here's the reason why... See, while I said all of us can agree on wanting this, here is why I say this would shatter expectations. Because in this day and age, when it comes to adding additional characters to these games, what do we expect companies most of the time to do?
Bring back fan favorites?
Not so much that, like, I'm talking about like the base game is out. When more games are coming, like, the game is already out. The base roster's out. The base roster's out. What do we usually expect when companies talk about more characters coming when the base roster's already out?
Oh, DLC.
Exactly. So it's like, if you want to pull a nice fast one on everybody, pull this. Do it like in 2002 UM and put it as a secret character, like secret selection. Because
Alright.
these days we're expecting the DLC, and on top of that, think about it. It's funny you were talking about the whole I'll just get straight to the point. People think that this is probably draconian. Secret characters? That's so like early mid 2000s. It's so 90s. Like we're past that now. It's a new age. Who's gonna put some freaking secret characters in a fighting game? All they do, like you just said, they're gonna charge DLC. You want to shatter expectations? Because Syrin basically just told you, I'm pretty sure everybody here can agree, when anybody that's played a fighting game in the past year, the base roster comes out, and they talk about some, you know what, yeah, we're gonna have more characters, but it's DLC. That's what we're expecting. Shatter that. Include secret. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go a step further. Have also a handful of EX, secret characters. It doesn't have to be the same ones for 2002 UM, but people are expecting companies to milk the want for more characters. If you want to shatter that expectation, do this. Embrace Orochi and give Team CYS, the band, Team Orochi. As everybody,
Karate.
as a couple of people in my freaking video of the Team Orochi's confirmation, they're not new faces anymore. So, and I agree. Yes, they're not new faces anymore. But that's one way to go about it. I guess you agree?
Yes, I do agree. I would like to see EX characters return.
What EX character would you like to see? And it could be any. It doesn't have to be like somebody who had it before. Fantasize.
Oh, I'd like to see Wild Wolf Terry as an EX, potentially.
I could dig that, actually.
Another one I'd love to see is Mr. Karate 2 as an EX for Rio.
Finally getting Rio to finally get that push.
Give Robert his more wild kind of style.
Yeah.
And 12 or in 11, not 12. We don't talk about 12. I'd say no.
Alright, so you agree.
I would love to see Mr. Karate himself return as an EX character. And maybe Kyo as well, having his EX forms, but instead EX is his older fireball style.
Right.
Because I like both of those. I like his crazier kick he had.
I'm gonna tell you what a freaking super short cool guy is, Pancake Sauce. He just dropped into my chat.
Really?
He came in there talking about, oh man, where's that super cool short guy? I'm about to say, yeah, he's here. He just jumped right into my chat. That's where he is.
Yeah.
Hey there, Pancake. Hope you're doing good, dude. All right, the second point. The second way that they can shatter expectations with this game, and let's just get into it. Custom colors. Bring it back from 13.
That would be amazing.
Bring it back. Now, I know there might be some disagreement with this when it comes to players, because maybe certain types of I don't know in this case, but I know at certain games, they, at least on the competitive field, they forbid you from using certain skins because, the animations and especially if it's something that's really, really intricately made, it can kind of be seen as a distraction or a little bit obscuring, basically don't put anything that might, obscure your opponent or whatever. There was a stage in Street Fighter V that was banned in tournaments, and it was the beach level because the water below, because Birdie in that game, he has the gimmick of, throwing his cans and stuff on the ground and everything, like the banana peels. On that stage, the water covers it. You can't see it.
Wow, really?
So that's why they banned that stage.
Interesting. I didn't even know.
So
about
I don't.
that. I was I'm really competitive.
Well, now you know. The more you know. So I don't know if that would apply here, but I know people really like to customize. Especially all these years we've seen from various different games where they allow you to pick certain color palettes. people like to see references to other characters.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people would love to like make a custom color palette for a character in KOF that they think, you know, makes them think of another character. Maybe they might design them to have a color palette that's reminiscent of the character they came from.
Make Rio look like Jotaro.
Maybe. I mean, it could. That'd be dope. I'd make it. Number 3. The third way they can shatter expectations with KOF 15, and I know you just gave... He didn't really give him any heat, though. You just kind of like, you know, disagreed with Chief in the beginning. He ain't getting any heat, though. But I think him, myself, you, everybody here in the chat can agree. Alternate costumes all around.
Of course.
Alternate costumes all around. Make them and I don't want... Look, I don't know if I've told you all how I feel about DLC in games, but here's my thing. I don't mind it because over time, depending on, unless you're looking at like indie, you know, indie like developers, then shout outs to the Future Squad. I think they're called Future Club, that's been handling Skullgirls recently. I think it's Future Club. Shout outs to them. I think I told the story about how I met them years ago when there was like a convention down here. Because Eliza actually hadn't been out yet, but they brought a build where, because you've seen like the little builds they have for the Skullgirls characters where they're not, you know, fully done. There are certain, you know, frames that aren't, you know, colored in and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they had like that little proto build there for Eliza.
Interesting.
Okay, I was making sure I got it. It is Future Club. Shout out to Future Club. Shout out to Future Club and all of you independent developers, all types of games.
I barely play.
Barely play what?
I barely play Skullgirls.
Oh, like those of you, I know, I think Kurobom actually tuned in when I played from the stream there for like a couple of minutes while I was waiting for the next character trailer reveal. But I was having like, I forgot how fun that game is. I loved it, even though I got destroyed by freaking two freaking different back-to-back solo big band players. Oh god.
It's a big band.
But like, the thing I was talking about was with DLC. I don't mind paying for DLC if it's good DLC. That, and number 2, when it comes to like character packs with these games, I want like the option to pick individual characters if I don't want all the ones in the past. Now that happens more often now, but there was a moment where you couldn't do that because Cross Tag Battle does that. You have to buy the pack. No individuals, at least as far as I know, as I remember. Maybe things have changed.
So, SNK, you ain't Capcom, they ain't scummy like that.
No, I'm just saying that. But with that being, the reason I bring that up is because I don't want this to be DLC as far as alternate costumes. What you do is,
I mean, if
what you do is,
like
go ahead.
I feel like I could see them making like purchasable ones, which would make sense in this day and age, right? Which I wouldn't hate that. It's just like you should also. I feel like there should be a mix of like you have that option for some, but then for others you can like unlock them via like some special method.
Well, that was my plan. I was like, I want these to be, because see, on top of that, you finally give people an incentive to play, like, for instance, arcade, even though, and I didn't include this, but they need to do it. There needs to be more than just the arcade and survival mode. Y'all got to have, like, you know, pick back up where y'all left off when it came to 13. Like, 13 had, like, you know, the visual novel style, which I didn't mind because I love visual novels. But something like that. Now, I feel like they might be going in that direction because of that one. You remember the little cutscene like in the very, 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 very first KOF 15 trailer where it like showed like Kyo and like Bean and Mario walking down the street or whatever? I think they may be going that direction. If they do, good. But on top of that, with the thing about the alternate costumes, you're giving people more of an incentive to play that mode. I want them to be unlockables.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's characters that they're gonna push, you know, more than others, which is why they'll give them more costumes and stuff. Because clearly they were doing that when it came to the likes of Shune and Meitenkun, because they got alternate costumes in 14, whereas a whole bunch of other characters did not. If they want to push some individual characters, you know, more than others, have at it. But I want all around unlockable costumes that can be all around.
Yeah.
All around. And that shouldn't be that hard then, because you have a bunch of legacy characters here that have had redesigns over the years. Please.
Yeah.
Shatter expectations, do that. I'm not saying you can't make DLC. If you want to make DLC costumes, cool, but I would save that for like the characters that you're gonna push, because you're probably gonna have another skin for Shune, probably gonna have one for Meitenkun, probably one for Najed, which I won't mind. As long as it's like not corny or anything. But
Najed in a crop top or some crap.
who knows? That's all I gotta say. Who knows? Who knows? People thought the game was gonna be censored because of all the mess in the background going on with the game, but then look what happened with mine. Look what happened with freaking Shermie too. The only instance of censorship that I've seen with any of these games recently was apparently they had to they gave like freaking what's her name, Chom Chom. They gave Chom Chom like a bodysuit like under her freaking, you know, little jungle.
That was like
that was for China, I think. It was China. But that's it.
Yeah, probably.
That's it. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Clearly you gave your thoughts on that point, but you got anything else to add?
I've got these other bullet points. I don't know if we got a ton of time left. But... The new mechanic I thought we would talk about.
Well, like
we don't really know.
Well, we're like hitting the 2-hour period, but like we'll go like maybe an extra 10 minutes because we were late. And that's on me.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. Let me speed up. Number 4, and I'm pretty sure somebody in the freaking chat said it or whatever. Big comebacks. Big comebacks. Now, we had kind of sort of one, counting the whole team.
0.
Okay, 2. There you go. That's 2. I was gonna count. I was counting the whole freaking. I was counting the band.
Yeah, the band, right?
But I think Chizuru. I think you're right. I think she's another big one too. Even though we saw her in like 14's cutscenes, but that was a big one. And on top of that, we got the Sacred Treasures. We need more of that. And that's all these characters everybody keeps talking about. I'm not talking about the likes of like, you know, people we know that are coming. As a matter of fact, the big 3 that we knew were going to be in this game, I think have already been confirmed. Terry, Rio, Robert. Terry, Rio, big 4. Well, no. Terry, Rio, Kyo. There we go. They're already here. So now where does that leave us?
Now it's the Wild West.
Yes. Wild West, where somewhere freaking K-Dash and Leona are hiding somewhere because we ain't seen them since the beginning.
They're trying to like pay off the debt they have for all the ice cream they had to pay for Kula. Sarah asked them to help out a little bit if they could help out.
Alright, and the 5th thing over here, we've talked about this before, so no need for me to go into detail about it, but I basically listed as invaders, aka guest character team, or a guest character. Come on!
Yeah.
Now, I know everybody's talking about it, but we're theorizing here. Every time we talk about guest characters in KOF from outside the SNK franchise, we are fantasizing like crazy. Shatter our expectations and show us that we were telling the truth. Shatter our expectations and show us that we weren't crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking around, Jose. My apologies again, like it was on me for us being a little bit late, but thanks for stopping by. I always love having you here. But that's all I got. Those are the 5 things that we can do, or at least they can do, to freaking shatter expectations, really. I mean, everything is nice so far. Yeah. It's decent, but come on.
Okay.
Wait, what? We got an invader?
I said, what guest characters are you thinking?
I thought you said pancake. I thought I heard you say pancake in the back of my. I was like, wait a minute, did he freaking invade us?
No.
I mean, to simply put, because I want to get to your bullet points before we go. Oh, and by the way, Jose, before you go, even though I think it might be gone by now, just an announcement before, we let Syrin, like, close us out then and give us more, like, a bullet point to talk about. We're not going to have an edition of the Shattering next weekend on Saturday. There's going to be no Shattering on that day because Syrin's got to take care of stuff. So what I plan to do, possibly by chance, since I had so much fun playing Skullgirls last time, I'm probably going to, like, see maybe if I can stream that day and we can just, I can play, like, whatever, play Skullgirls, play 2002 UM, and just, sit and chill and just talk about stuff. I mean, we'll talk about the trailer we get, like, that week and everything, but just want to put that out there for everybody. There is not going to be a Shattering episode next Saturday. Taking a break like freaking SNK does. If they can freaking take a break from revealing characters, we can do that too.
I was considering an element where it was just you solo, but I feel like that'd be a little sad.
Well, I mean, like, I'm going to be probably like, I'm going to, like, do something extra. Like, I want to, I want to try to make it look at least fun, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's, but I really, like, wanted to try to, like, get more gameplay out there. Y'all know I love talking about the intricacies and trivia stuff when it comes to the fighting games and everything, characters, lore, fantasizing, predicting stuff and everything, but I want to, like, try to play some more stuff. Not saying anybody went out of their way and teased me about, you never play anything. It's like, but it's just something I want to do. Like I said, I want to try to do something a little bit new for y'all all the time or whatever. I try to make it fresh. Make something different. Make it fun. But just in case you didn't hear, Jose got it so good and making sure he got it because I don't want him freaking be here waiting for us. Like, there is going to be no edition of the Shattering next Saturday. We will probably pick up the Saturday after that.
Probably.
I'll have to keep in touch with Syrin, but I will keep y'all posted regardless. If not, like I said, I'll try to stream that Saturday night. We'll have some fun just talking and chilling about stuff, and y'all can laugh at me freaking getting whooped by solo big bands again. Alright, so that's that. Alright. Last bullet point. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. I should pick a good one. That one's A. That one's A. How popular do you think KOF 15 is going to be in the competitive scene, such as EVO?
I'm going to look at it from a best case scenario. Because I feel like it might fall... Because I'm thinking about it from the aspect of, like, comparing it to the popularity of other KOF games from recent times. Like, for instance, I'm thinking about 13 and 14, obviously. Because 13, after especially that finals that Bala had against Mad KOF, who they called the OG from Korea, and that man could play, actually. That was a really... That still, I think, is probably still the best freaking grand finals match for KOF at EVO, like, since, I think of all KOF games that have been there. Because those of you that don't know, EVO originally didn't have, like, a lot of the games that you see them play. Earlier on, a lot of those games were not there. Earlier on, the series was called Battle by the Bay, and it was originally formed as a Street Fighter tournament, and they were looking to gather scenes from all around the US. And of course, little surprisingly not, there were scenes from outside the country, of course in Japan, where the game was born.
Yeah.
And basically, just to keep it simple, it went from that. Marvel became the first non-Street Fighter game, because at first it was like maybe Street Fighter Turbo and then Street Fighter Third Strike. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the first non-Street Fighter game to be played at EVO. And a lot of people attribute the fact that seeing that, of course, with the booming market of fighting games, and of course, the fact of how legendary and just lauded Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is, it broke the door for all the other franchises to get a piece of the Evo pie. You know what I'm saying? So, but of all the different instances where KOF like was present at Evo, I still think Bala's final round, like, you know, grand finals match against Mad KOF was still probably the best match. The stuff with KOF 14 was good. Like, all of them were good though, but I don't think that drew people to 14 in the same way that people got drawn to 13 off the strength of those matches, you know, in the Evo Grand Finals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to also consider this is a particular audience that watches competitive play like this. It's a like, you know, I don't know exactly how many casuals will watch stuff like that. Because casuals are not monolithic, and not even really pros are either, because you'll have casuals that look at people doing these crazy combos and everything, and they're wowed by it. I mean, I'll never forget, like, when we started to actually get into the FGC, and this was like around like early college days, the first match that we saw, and like we played Marvel religiously, we're seeing the stuff that these guys are pulling off, thinking that we actually had some, we freaking got some good combos or whatever. And lo and behold, we're watching the stuff that these guys were doing. It blew our minds. Yeah. But there are casuals that do not like like getting comboed and acting like, I don't get a chance to play. Like, a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I still think, like, I still think 13 drew more than I think anything else.
Yeah.
15, it really just depends on what direction the game goes in. I know seeing how people are still being knuckleheads about the pandemic, and I'm mentioning that not to like get on any mess, but I mean, it affects it because, you know, the reason why, and I know some people will talk about like, you know, rollback and all that, but the reason we talk about it, I mean, it's been a long, you know, we've been talking about this for a while now. GGPO, come on. GGO's been a thing for the longest of time. But it's because we're still not in a state where we can have these public events.
Yeah.
So, because think about it, the online Evo that was booked for 2020 was, people were excited for it.
Yeah.
But of course, some more controversy knocked the tournament into the water, never to be heard from, at least that particular one. Not the series, of course, but that particular one got sunk. Thankfully, we don't have that issue anymore. But we still have the other issue, which is the fact that we can't come in person and play these games. So now we're left at the mercy of online play, or I don't know why they never considered this option, but it could almost be like the way they do some wrestling shows nowadays. You know, you do it with no crowd. They still have the matches there, but there is no crowd. I think a Mortal Kombat tournament did that recently.
Really?
I'm not going to stay much longer on the whole rollback netcode thing, but that is one thing that is going to be a sink or swim matter. Because, yeah, hardcore SNK KOF fans are going to still play it regardless. But, how much of them make up the base, though? At least, like, far as keeping it out there. I don't know. If it goes in a good direction, I feel it could fall somewhere between, like it could do better as far as popularity, better than 14. But I feel like, as much as I flack the designs and stuff of 13, I feel like 13 is going to be one of those things where it comes to, like, at least in terms of what you asked me, we may never see KOF 13's kind again. Like, every other game after that is probably either going to be near the hype, near the popularity, or fall somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. If it goes in a good direction, if it maintains everything else, I could see it falling somewhere between the two. Halfway.
All right.
But I'm hoping for it. I'm holding out for it because I really want this game to do well. This is just like the Mortal Kombat thing. I was so happy they brought back Jade, they brought back Frost, and then all of these years, and it's not just me, I'm pretty sure a lot of you who play Mortal Kombat also thought this too, I wanted to see Spawn in a Mortal Kombat game for years. And they finally did it, but unfortunately the game just stopped being fun. And like I said, the characters just didn't matter anymore. I don't want that to be the fate of KOF 15. I'm happy as freaking... I'm happy as somebody who's able to freaking have freaking pizza and ice cream every single day of their life. That Shermie's back. I like the fact Chizuru and the Sacred Treasures are back. But the characters alone can't freaking carry these games. Yes, the roster's part of the game, but they're only a part of the experience.
Yeah.
So, that's all I really got for that. Here's to hoping for the best for 15. I really do. Even if like the netcode is not like the best, if it has like a very addictive like gameplay, if it has like hella addictive gameplay, because there are games that, like I said, I would go to a friend's house and still play them because, hey, we're local and we ain't gotta worry about lag switching and all this other crap and everything. It's addictive. Like, if it can be engaging, addictive, fun, addictive and stuff, then I can see this. That new mechanic gave kind of the, at least for me, gave the impression of like them moving more in the direction of like a more crash course, knockdown, brawl favoring type of playstyle, which a lot of folks won't like because they think it favors like, you know, getting comboed and I can't get down, but I mean,
auto combos, deal with it.
I'm gonna assume Parker was talking about me dissing Mortal Kombat 11 again when he said it's the gameplay. But, I mean, it could go for either one. But that's really it. That's all.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna see KOF 13's kind as far as popularity. Maybe not anytime soon. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, probably not. Although it looks like they're bringing back similar mechanics, so who knows?
Yeah, we totally saw drive cancels there. We solely saw some. They can't convince me otherwise that, you know, those were not drive cancels. We know this stuff a little too well.
Yeah.
Well, went over there right there. That'd be it about... I must be tired. Why am I talking that be it about? That'll be it for this episode of The Shattering. I'm gonna remind you all. What's up?
Guess next week's character.
Oh yeah. Yes, let's.
Okay.
Because this is about to be a rocky one. Because are we about to get some more duo freaking reveals again? Are we? Possibly. That's why it's gonna make this trickier. But the reason why I'm gonna guess Leona this time because her and K-Dash are at a drought now, man. Like, I know you can't put everybody out there, but we haven't seen them since the beginning. Leona and K-Dash have been, far as like the time between here and then, it's a drought. One of the two of them has to freaking be revealed sometime very, very soon, like close to now. And I'm gonna go with Leona.
Alright. Yeah, okay. That seems reasonable. I'm gonna say K-Dash.
The other one. The other person we've had in a drought.
And if it's, I don't know, wild card, Dulon. But I'm gonna say K-Dash.
Alright. There you have it. Whoever is still in the chat there, does anybody there have any guesses for who will be the next character revealed? Anybody got any guesses?
What could be like Shindo or something?
Shuichi is going back to the... I keep thinking I'm saying it wrong. Freaking Danganronpa. Suichi is going back to the. Oh no, my bad. I thought Suichi was going back to the well of the Alice guest, but Suichi is actually agreeing with you. K dash.
All right.
K dash.
Thanks, Luigi.
Just want to note, the last time we guessed this, I will admit I basically piggybacked off of what freaking Kurobomb said, because Kurobomb had said I said Orochi because I forgot his theme song's up now. No, he guessed Rio, and then I guessed right after him. So maybe you two strengthen in numbers the same way. Maybe y'all will bullseye here. I'm really curious to see how he'll play then. Like, is he gonna get anything new? I'm really curious.
Add something new. I doubt they're gonna add any more.
I'm curious to see like how he's gonna play then, because K-Dash, like, for a while I don't like that character's freaking attitude and his freaking personality. He's hella fun to play.
Yeah, I get it. Although his, I like his style when he attacks. Like, he throws his sunglasses at you. He's got some style to him.
Yeah, and I've always liked the whole thing, because at first, when I first saw that character, I didn't realize what the world he was doing before he proceeded to like do his little rush combo. But then after a while, I'm like, oh, he's freaking tossing his glasses at you. I'm like, that's actually kind of dope.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have here. We went a little bit over our usual time because we were late this time because of me.
It's all good.
But yeah, that's all the time we have for this edition of The Shattering. Once again, another reminder, I know somebody's annoyed with this, but I'm trying to put it out there because if anything that I've learned from making content on YouTube over years is that some people act like they're freaking hard of hearing. They don't listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote a lyric from a song that a friend of mine made back in high school. Hard of hearing like their ears made of freaking stone. That's what a lot of freaking YouTubers are like. Just saying. But once again, next Saturday, there will not be an episode of The Shattering. I'm gonna see if I, got some free time that night that is, because it's nighttime usually when I do this, or nearing the evening, basically. I'll get on stream, play 2002 UM, play some Skullgirls, sit here, we could talk about whoever comes out that week, just chill and talk, and like I said, see some pretty good matches. You know what I'm saying?
If you play UM, Hydern for me.
Say what?
Hydern for me if you do UM.
Said Hydern.
Because that's what I use usually.
What about Hydern? You said play Hydern for you? I heard the Hydern part, but I couldn't hear you.
Just play a little bit of Hydern for me if you do UM.
Okay, I'm about to practice then. Because I've never played that character before, so I'm about to practice. But
Got some fun stuff. Always a little difficult around the edges. Sometimes.
You know what? While you're asking me to play freaking Hydern for you, I might get whooped by a Hydern when I play.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's all the time we have. Once again, shout outs to everybody that tuned in with us. Thank you once again, creepy reading, for the surprise. I was not expecting that. My apologies if he watches this back. I didn't mean to ignore him like when he made that one request. It's just that you know how it can be then. It's like, talking to you, doing the podcast, and then kind of like, looking at the chat. I don't want to make y'all seem left out because y'all say some funny and make some cool points, and sometimes y'all give us bullet points to talk about. So, like I said, I appreciate him for, by the way, fun fact about Creepy, the avatar that you see that I use on, my channel, it's my, the profile, like the avatar picture on my channel, the character you see here on the graphic that Syrin made for The Shattering. The artist that did that, I actually met through Creepy. So I appreciate him a bunch there. Like I said, if you're into creepypastas, interesting things about, like, I'm pretty sure you might have an idea of, like, what he was like. There's lists over there like mine, but they're more about disturbing topics then, so I understand maybe you're not into that stuff. I love scary stuff then. But it's always entertaining, and it's, always kind of, really interesting to see. You'll learn something if you're into that. If you're not into that, that's cool. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be upset. But I just wanted to shout him out because that was a good surprise. I really needed that today. And I mentioned the freaking artist. Helena G. Fiorenza, thank you for the avatar as usual. And yeah, that's it. So keep your eyes peeled. Fascinating facts about Kyo Kusanagi will hopefully be out, sometime next week. As in, because I know it's Sunday tomorrow on my side or whatever. But keep your eyes peeled. I'm trying to get that out as fast as I can. That's it. That's all I got for announcements.
Alright.
Alright, this is it. Till next time, we will catch y'all, far as myself and Syrin, the Saturday after next.
Yeah.
So y'all
Hopefully, yeah.
So as I always say, take care, be safe out there. See ya. And sub to freaking Syrin if you haven't subbed already.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some what?
Said I got some cool stuff.
You heard him. Alright, now we're gone. Because y'all always tease us about freaking saying we're gonna go, we never leave, but we're out this time. Y'all take care.
Everybody.
See ya.
Bye.